Wonka is a 2023 musical fantasy film which tells the origin story of the titular chocolatier Willy Wonka. The film is directed by Paul King, a man whose name should be held in the same reverence as other great directors, such as Kubrick and Tarkovsky, for his work on such masterpieces like Paddington and Paddington 2.
Paddington 2 is incredible.
I fucking told you.
It stars corpse bride-looking ass Timothée Chalamet and British actor Hugh Grant, who you may know from Love Actually, or from that time he was arrested while cheating on his wife with a black hooker. Now, I hold the character of Willy Wonka quite near and dear to my heart, as I grew up on both the 1971 film and the 2005 Tim Burton remake.
You see him in that movie, Charlie and Chocolate Factory? Did you look at that one when you were comparing his processing speed?
Do I have to answer that question, Your Honor?
You have to answer questions. Yes, sir.
No, you'll be happy to know I didn't see Willy Wonka I didn't see 21 Jump Street when it happened, or whatever it was about.
That being the case, even I have to admit, this is a film I guarantee no one asked for. But enough preamble, let's get into the review. We start off with Willy Wonka, who after a 7-year journey around the world, wherein he had gay sex with the Lone Ranger, did some cannibalism in the Midwest, and had desert adventures with Zendaya, has returned to a European-looking town in which everyone has a British or American accent. After being scammed into slavery because he didn't read the terms of service before clicking agree, Wonka is forced to work at a laundry owned by Olivia Colman, who despite winning an Oscar like 5 years ago is doing shit like this. Also, I straight up forgot that the original 1971 film was a musical and was fucking confused why everybody was singing until Timothée Chalamet sung Pure Imagination and it jogged my memory. Anyways, regardless of this setback, Wonka's goals remain the same: get rich or die trying. But the main shot callers in the chocolate business tried to suppress his grind set, of which they hire a corrupt police officer played by Keegan-Michael Key to do so. So Willy has to now face off against the chocolate cartel in order to make his candy-making dreams come true. There's a lot Wonka has got going for it, and I'm not gonna lie and say it wasn't a lot better than I expected it to be, as I do believe a lot of love and care went into the making of this film. However, despite all this, it still failed to recapture the magic that the 1971 film had. The performances in this film are pretty underwhelming, even though we had the likes of Mr. Bean, Vicky Pollard, and that lady who fucked the fish man. This all-star cast seems to be given really nothing to do, with Hugh Grant especially coming off as uninterested, which makes sense considering he straight up admitted in interviews to only doing this film for money.
You know, I wonder, Hugh, if you didn't have this direct line and relationship with Paul, would your agents have ever sent you an Oompa Loompa role to even consider? Would that have even crossed your path?
Oh, yes, I think so. They know that I'm into the freak show stage of my career now. It's all I can get.
All around me are familiar faces, worn.
I actually really liked Timothée Chalamet, and thought his performances in 2021's Dune and 2022's Bones and All were fantastic. But I do understand why a lot of people disagreed with the casting of him as Wonka, as they probably just did not see him and Gene Wilder being the same character. Fun fact, the writer of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Roald Dahl, hated the Mel Stewart adaptation for numerous reasons. A key one being that he disliked the casting of Wilder as Wonka because he found the actor to be pretentious. Or maybe because fucking Roald Dahl's anti-Semitic ass didn't like the fact he was a Jew. Who knows? Who knows for sure? I know a lot of people criticize the Burton film for being too weird or dark, but something that film has over 2023's Wonka is that it feels like its own thing. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory went so far left in another way that there was literally nothing left for people to compare when comparing it to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Wonka, on the other hand, will be compared to the 1971 film, whether the filmmakers like it or not, as many key things that happen in Wonka seem to foreshadow plot details in that film. This sounds kinda odd, but I always wanted a Wes Anderson adaptation of the book. Anderson has shown himself to be a huge Roald Dahl fan, and even adapted a number of his short stories in the past. But as it seems, this is going to be the Willy Wonka that Generation Alpha will grow up with. In conclusion, Wonka was not perfect, nor was it even really memorable. In fact, it suffers from painful levels of midness. Truly, a fate worse than death. or going inside like a chocolate pipe from a chocolate river, or turning into a blueberry, or like getting sent down the garbage chute, or being made into like a miniature person because you like fucked with the fucking TV technology. All those things are equally bad, but not as bad as being like fucking mid.
Hi, I'm Timothy Chalamet. I'm hosting SNL this week with Boy Genius.
Timothy, I'm so excited.
Willy Wonka.
What?
Sorry, the actor strike just ended. I could finally promote my movie.
Oh, well, congrats. That's
Willy Wonka, chocolate man. Willy Wonka, chocolate.